What is going on, everyone? It is me, Nancer here, and we're back with some more Dokkan battle. Today we are going to be doing the Artificial Lifeforms category mission without Gamma 1 or 2 on the team, and this is also double AGL Cell-led team beating the Cell Max Bossman. So, very impressive when it's overall. However, I think, again, a major part of this is because we do have the new boost. So if you weren't aware, both the Special Pose category and the Artificial Lifeforms categories, they do give a 210% offensive boost to Cell Max. That's not shown in the attack stats, but it's in the actual damage that is dealt to the boss. Because of that, Cell is a unit that can put out a lot of damage pretty quickly, this AGL Cell specifically, and he has built-in crits as well. So because of that, he's able to actually melt the Cell Max, presumably by the end, right? And obviously I cleared the event, so you'll be able to see that yourself. And this is basically just a full Android Cell Saga team. Since this is the Artificial Lifeforms mission, of course, we could basically only bring Cells and Android 16. So I just have the full cell lineup and the Int 16, which I guess I'll talk about the Super Strike 16 first. If you weren't aware, Super Strike 16 does have 60% damage reduction as long as his guard is activated. In the final phase, his guard is always going to be activated because he has a type advantage, which is a very crucial thing. So because of that, he's not only just, again, type advantage, but with 60% damage reduction, that makes him one of the only units in the game that's able to tank the Cell Max super attack. And that's just very impressive, because you have to keep in mind that the boost for the categories are only offensively. Defensively, these units still take the same amount of damage. So, I've seen some people say, oh, technically the Cell Max event is definitely not as difficult as it was, because this boost kind of helps for the most part. I'd say it helps more than it hurts. But defensively, it's still a way that we could judge units for the future, because eventually in the future we will get more difficult content that's even possibly harder than the Cell Max boss. Especially because I feel like a lot of these teams nowadays are just able to really beat these events with ease. We found basically the groove of this event and what units to bring, what units not to bring, stuff like that. So I think a big thing is we want to make sure we stall until we have the perfect form cell out. That's just a must. If you get into this second phase, or the last phase I mean, with the semi-perfect cell out, or even the first form cell somehow, you're going to be in loads of trouble. Getting the attack stacks would be very nice if possible. And then you want to make sure you have Big Bad Bosses activated. So you want to try and have a slot 1 unit in each rotation, which is why I have not only I have this N16, a very perfect slot 1 unit for this situation, but then I also have the Int, not only the TUR seller that at least has type advantage, but we have the LR final form. So I will also say that this run definitely had a good amount of RNG associated with it, and you'll see that I had very lucky RNG, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So talking about the other units besides that, again, this TUR Cell, he's just there because he has type advantage and he'll be able to give us Big Bad Bosses, and he's really one of the only options we do have. There's not really many options that you can replace on this team. The semi-perfect cell at the bottom or at the end, semi-perfect is kind of weird saying, but second form cell, he does have the 40% attack and defense support to the rotation, which is going to be very helpful, along with basically fixing any key issues we potentially could have. Again, I'll talk about it more, but the Int Cell right there, the LR specifically, I guess, and same with the TUR actually, they do have a healing effect. So when you're under 30% HP, I believe the Int one does heal 20%. And then obviously if you're under 30% HP with the LR on rotation, you do get a full heal, and he does transform into the normal perfect cell form, not perfect form. Some people call it super perfect cell, right? That kind of stuff. So right here I was thinking about, okay, what's the best action? And decided to keep this perfect cell on rotation, the LR. They're all perfect cells, I guess technically, like most units in the team are perfect cell, but you get the point. The reason why is because I think that having N16 at the end is just going to be too valuable. More than likely the super attack is right there where 16 is. And even with this guy right here with Big Bad Bosses and type advantages, look at the damage takes. 90k per normal attack. And once he can do some nice damage, we definitely don't want him to take like 10 attacks at the end and take a super. So you see right here, AGL Cell is doing pretty good damage. 9 million to 9.4 million. Very good, especially if he gets the critical hits off. So once he's perfect cell, he has a 35% chance to dodge and a 35% chance to crit. And right there, again, I'm telling you, is one of the lucky things that went through. Not only did we have to just not take any attacks from perfect cell, but he dodged the super attack with his 35% chance. That's just insane, like massive, right? Very, very good. In 16, I also have a dodge build on him. He's able to eat a super attack, at least on the other teams, like when I run the Gamma team. He's able to eat a super from around 160 to 250-ish K, depending on if he's able to super attack first, what links he has active, right? And that can be pretty important, because I guess on this team, he won't get the Android Assault link. So right here, I was like, again, very, very good attack patterns as well I found we had in this run, because if Cell attacked like 8 times or like 5 times reasonably before we got an attack off, that would have been very bad for us, because obviously it's like, well, we're just probably dead because this guy's taking 130k per normal attack. We're able to super first with this perfect cell. Mine is, I'll start at the end, but he's 69% to 1 dupe here. He's still doing some solid damage because of the critical hits, and that's what I'm saying. If you're able to get the crits off, get all these additional super attacks, he's able to really cook the cell max, which is quite impressive, right? The triple super right here is very good. He also does, I believe, raise his attacking defense for the turn on his super attack effect, so that's a 30% raise. Look at the damage he did, just insane. And then we dodged another super attack. The luck was incredible this run, really looking back at it. So if you want to try this team, I will say you're going to have a lot of attempts doing it probably, especially if your units don't really have dupes or anything. I'm not sure if it's necessarily possible in that situation where you have like all 55% units, but especially if you have many dupes in your units, you can have a really good shot here. And we're able to get the full heal, so actually didn't even have to use another item. Was this a... I used an item, didn't I? Did I use an item? No, I don't think I did I? Actually, I don't... Did I not use... I didn't even realize if this is a no item run. I wasn't even thinking about it. I don't remember if I actually used an item here, so this actually was a no item run as well. I actually didn't think about it, because right here, we're all the way at the end, and we just absolutely destroyed this guy. I mean, again, very, very... Oh, no, I did use a Senzu Bean. When did I use a Senzu Bean? I actually forgot, but I checked back on the run on my phone. I did use a Senzu, but this was basically almost a no item run, I guess. 10 mil from the friend right there with this cell. With the type effective boost, man, this AGL cell is still quite impressive once you get to perfect cell. Look at that, he's also taking double digits. Type disadvantage right here. So luckily he didn't aim a super at the beginning. This LR cell is able to finish him off, and we're cooking. So I mean, that's one big reason why this boost is really impressive, because obviously without the boost, it would be probably impossible for this team, because of the just X amount of damage we could do is so huge. And, you know, obviously the longer the event goes on with this type of team, the longer you're likely to get sniped by a super and just instantly die. So again, keep that in mind, especially if you have lower dupe levels and stuff like that, just less defenses. So I do show the friend. This is one of the dev friends, it seems like. Full level 10 links, 30 additional right there. Very, very strong build. And yeah, I did use an item right there. I was like, was this an item run? I was like, no way. I would have remembered if it was an item run. But yeah, that's basically it. So let me know what y'all think. I'll again show my builds right here, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.